Hey everyone, this is ATM77Unleashed here. Welcome to a video. This is going to be the first time you ever seen a video of Genshin Impact with, of course, Zhongli. But right now, we just finished watching the update of 2.5, if I'm corrected. By the way, in case you're wondering who this Sangurumi Kokumi sitting down, that's Jay. Say hello.
Yo.
So me and Jay, we just finished watching the update. We're not gonna talk about the fully update about it, but we're gonna be more focused on the prediction of what's gonna happen on the update. Now, the reason why we were bringing that up now because of a situation investigation that it's not the situation of the story that both the main story and the Raiden Shogun story. Now, the first thing I want to bring up was the main story. The main story during the end of the, when we fought the Raiden Shogun, that Jay, I think you remember.
Yep, I remember that.
Yoimiku gave the Genosis to scare move, and people want to know my reaction. You saw my first reaction, you didn't know the other one, so be ready for that one in the next funny moments. But there was a clip talking about the two puppets. I'm gonna show you that clip right about now about the Shogun's puppet.
That puppet was built with technology that has been lost to time. Perhaps she, as a god, is the only one privy to the knowledge of its origins. Still, there is one other thing on this topic that I suspect you may be curious to know. Before A began modifying her own godly form, she took it upon herself to create a prototype puppet.
Prototype puppet?
So, you mean there are 3 Raiden Shoguns?
No. The prototype was merely a proof of concept. Its appearance and intellect were not based on A. It was a test. The original plan was for A to simply discard it. But perhaps A thought this to be too cruel, because in the end she chose only to seal the power within it. Later, this puppet wandered Inazuma as an ordinary human male with his own consciousness, until the Fatui took an interest in him.
Ugh, not the Fatui.
The rats, as usual.
Some eccentric geniuses in the ranks of the Fatui made adjustments to the prototype, not only unsealing his power, but very likely rendering him even more formidable than his original specifications.
You surely don't mean...
The object of divine creation is now the one who has taken possession of the Gnosis. And the prototype puppet is now known as the Balladeer.
Now, for that simple reason, we realize that we're the only thing that come close enough to the story of the Balladeer that was one person we just met. Jay, you already know who we were talking about.
Yep.
For people who don't know, Scaramouche, aka he is basically known as the Balladeer. However, there was a line that the Raiden Shogun brought up. Jay, explain the details. Don't say the name of the person. Explain more details about this one. By the way, he is playing the Kokumi, by the way.
From what the Raiden Shogun says, that she said that he was a byproduct of creating the Shogun, and that she feels like she owes him something, but doesn't want to assert control over him.
And the person's name, what was the person's name, though?
Kunikuzuki?
Yeah, I think that is what it is. If we don't know what he meant, he said exactly the way a Shogun is, but if you want more proof, here's a clip for you.
He came about as a byproduct of creating the Shogun. Perhaps it's because I feel like I owe him something, but I do not wish to assert control over him.
Now, things started to add up very carefully, but we still think it's not enough. that's when that's when we start doing the Raiden Shogun, or known as Raiden A story quests, that Toma met something that got us really thrown off and we was not expecting.
Well, the Tri-Commission's work used to consist of gathering information for the Shogun and carrying out any duties she assigned. But recently, she announced that she wishes to spend some time in solitude and self-reflection. Since she is refusing to receive any visitors, there is no one to tell us what to do. We all understand if the Shogun needs some quiet time to gather her thoughts. The only problem is, in the meantime, the thunderstorm out at sea has been getting wilder.
At first, we don't know what that location was from during the story, but now, and I showed Jay this, Jay says there's only one location that's very close to it. What was that location you meant when you saw that?
Tatarasuna.
What was it? Repeat that again?
Tatarasuna.
Now, for people who don't know, the Tatarasuna is right close to what was it? Right next to the mountain peak? When the teleport is located?
It's also near it's the island that had the Mikage furnace on there too. Where we had to do that world quest for Xavier.
True. And that did. Now, think about it. That's kind of weird how that place got more louder and louder. Now, I'm assuming it could be the prototype that Raiden A brought. But turned out, the prototype is being normal when we seen it. So, they didn't add up. Then the real one hit. During the the maze event, the maze event, if you remember?
Yeah, it was the Warriors one for
the Warrior Maze of the Warrior, I guess.
Yeah, it was the chamber thing with the floating paper dude.
Yeah, I forgot his name. His name just didn't pop on. Something then for people who don't know, Tentaglia came out of nowhere, telling he was here for the fight. That's when he said, you know what? I might as well tell him, Jay, what he just told us, since you got the information of that one.
He told us that he was looking for Scaramouche because Scaramouche had cut contact with the Fatui because they hadn't heard from him for a while.
Now keep this in mind. This is during the war against the Raiden Shogun and the resistance. During the time when the Fatui wants to keep the Vision Hunter Kree. But ever since the defeat and Yorimiku, thank you for that, giving the freaking Genosis to him, that's when things starting to add up. With the 2.5 update, then shit really started to add up. Me and Jay predicted this, and I agree with this as well. Scaramouche is on the move, and he's striking by his own will, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and also I just thought something that might also help them together too. Because I remember when we were doing the thing with the Mikage furnace, that it was the Fatui behind it onto.
Yeah, but
that's kind of weird.
Well, on top of it off, it cannot be. We'll talk more about that when we did the stream, but it feels off. Things started to add up. Like, why that boss that puppet, that boss that has a whole bunch of hands, something didn't feel right, because the Raiden Shogun never done that. Then that's what we're wondering. Could that be Scaramouche finally got the Genosis? We're predicting, if you remember what Yorimiku says, this prototype became a male. In general, it's supposed to be the same female. It's supposed to be a female, just like the Raiden Shogun. So my prediction is he found a way to unseal himself, which that's what we know. And with the Genosis, he finally has the will to try to take control. And as much as I hate to say this, Imazuma's in great danger. While that investigation tied off, as we're continuing that investigation, now we need to go back. If you probably remember the first time we went into the depths of the Inkonomiya, if I'm correct, if that's the name, Inkonomiya, which is the underneath the water of the Sangonomiya Island or Watatsumi Island. We know some information. We got all the information. We went to full investigation. Jay thought it was wrapped up once we got everything else, but I kept it on hold because something feels off. With the 2.5, I knew something was wrong. We'll talk more about that later, but Jay, this is my prediction. I'm going to tell you right now. My prediction in 2.5, the main story of the Archon, is this. Scaramouche, aka the first prototype of the Raiden Shogun, is about to make his move, and he's gonna strike hard.
Yup, fast and hard.
Meaning, like I said this before on the stream, Scaramouche is a biggest threat to him, not only for Imazuma, to ourselves as well. But the first thing, the way we need to find out is where is he? Because right now, Tentacula is still with us. The question is, where is Scaramouche? Where is the first prototype? We're all going to find that out in 2 weeks. And yes, for people who have heard the stream, Yorimiku's coming. I would talk about that on the live stream. But this story, we're not done with the Archon story, and plus we have to continue to investigate in that place.
Yeah, because AJ, if I'm able to add something about, you know, like with the deep and that.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I was gonna add. That's what I was saying. Go ahead.
When I noticed when I was down there walking around, it felt like something was watching me, or just an uneasy feeling, like something was wrong entirely. Like I just had that feeling the whole time I was down there.
Okay, be more like just like Pacific, like when she was down there, like this is what during when the place went in night or it was in day.
Both day and night. It felt like I was being watched, or just like it was just I was like basically paranoid down there a bit because I didn't know if something was gonna jump out or not.
Now, for people who have not
being watched.
Now, for people who have not done the Economia, I highly suggest you to go investigate that. Go deep search for an investigation, because Jay brought up something that the reason why I felt like it needs to be for an investigation. Explain what you just witnessed when you told me.
I had found a laboratory down there.
So, like, how go by play. Explain how you know, like.
I was just walking, I was just exploring the place, and then I saw something off in the distance that wasn't shown on the map, and I was like, okay, I need to get over here. Then I went over there, and it said Secret Bishop Research Lab. I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay, I gotta tell ATM this. This is something big, I gotta tell him this.
When for people who don't know, when he informed me this information, that immediately said, yeah, this has got to be a full investigation. And the first place we have to find out was the lab. We'll tell you more into it when we get too deep on the next when we do the live stream. Let's talk about update 2.5. So be ready for everyone who's watching this. And Jay, I know Jay's gonna be coming with us, and he's gonna continue investigating with me on the deep.
Yeah.
So Jay, thank you for coming. This is the first. I know this is your first time, and you're playing. By the way, he's playing as Sangonomiya Kokomi. How the two banners they just announced, the Raiden Shogun and Sangonomiya Kokomi, but the first banner is gonna be Yorimiku. So Jay, thank you for being joined. So I see you guys in that video. I'll see you guys in the stream, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And like always, subscribe. This is ATM77 Unleashed. The channel has been unleashed. You live and you learn. This shit is gonna be exciting.